Ladies and gentlemen, President of the Technology Association of Georgia, Tino Mantella.
Good morning. I'm not Robert Hendricks. If you look at your program, Robert was having dinner with us last night, and he called in sick this morning. His whole family has some kind of a virus, so don't get too close to me today. But I feel really great, and it's great to be here. And Robert would usually have a story to kick off. In fact, I know it was last night he talked about his 12-year-old son that just pitched a no-hitter, and I know he had some more ammo for this morning. So I'm not as much of a storyteller, but I'll tell you a little bit about my path to this place today. My career has been in nonprofit for more years than I want to say, 20 plus. When you get to be older, you start just saying 20 plus, so it doesn't sound like it's as many. But my actually longest stint was in the YMCA, as most of you know, so I have the dance down really well. I do the YMCA. And it was a great career. I decided to do something else after about 10 years at the Chicago Y, which was the largest Y in the world at the time. We had about a $100 million operation, 4,500 employees, and I was recruited to Atlanta to be the head of the Arthritis Foundation. And I did that for a bit of time. It was a little bit of an interesting culture there in terms of having 55 chapters around the country and as the national CEO, but none of them reported to me. So I always thought that I was really good at influencing until you have absolutely no authority to influence. Changes the whole dynamic of your ability to get things done. Very slow, so when I was offered the tag post almost 8 years ago now, I remember my son, who's now just graduated from college, said, I came home and said, son, I took the job as the head of Technology Association in Georgia, and he said, Dad, you can't even turn on the computer. How are you going to do this job? So my staff will probably tell you that I still can't do that, but I am getting better at technology. And so that's my path. But I've been really extremely pleased and honored to be in this post. And the support that we've gotten from the community, people like yourself, I mean, it's a great organization. This is our 9th annual Technology Summit. This year we're expecting over 1,100 people to attend sometime during the day. And it's really built up to be one of the major events in not just this part of the country, but anywhere in the U.S. I actually have the honor for the next couple of years to be chairman of and president of Technology Councils of North America. There's about 40 groups like us in the U.S. and Canada, but I can tell you that there's not really any like TAG in terms of the depth and breadth of the organization. We now have 15,000 members and growing. We have 30 societies, soon to add a mobility society for those of you who are interested, number 31. So we're extremely active in those societies, and some of our leadership council chairmen and members are here. They're really sort of the foundation of the organization, and no other group that I know of has built around this society sort of infrastructure. So the theme, and I think Frank and his team did a nice job on the little video clip that you saw at the beginning that talked about past, present, and future. So this year's theme is innovation, the path to a brighter future. I think very appropriate. But most of you heard the theme, standing on the shoulders of giants, and I think that's part of what this is all about, is the people, the industries, the companies that have been here in the past that have brought us to this place today. There's always a question as to, how strong of an ecosystem does Atlanta and Georgia have for the technology industry? And I think some of us here would say that it's not as strong as we want it to be, but it's getting stronger. And all of you make that happen. Our top 40 companies out there are great examples of companies that probably got their start or their certainly some of their direction from companies in the past, and we have a terrific group of top 40 companies that are helping us on that path to a brighter future. The Hall of Fame award winners that you'll hear about today is also another example of, and through history, the Hall of Fame members that we've honored are people that are really the giants that that our community is building on in terms of technology. Last year's theme was more around where Georgia leads, and we've identified 7 areas, 7 clusters, if you will, where we are in the top 5 in the nation. And Governor kicked off an event earlier this year, or late last year at McKesson, where he talked about technology being an important area for Georgia, which we thought was great because last year when I was up here, I talked about the theme sometimes at the state level might be more peaches, pecans, pine trees, poultry, and peanuts. So it's nice to have technology at least moving up in the mix, because we certainly believe, and I know most of you out here believe, that technology is the key to Georgia's future, and that's what today's about. We couldn't do it without a strong board of directors, and certainly the Summit Task Force that was part of that. So just let's give the board of directors a tag and the task force that put this together a round of applause. We also couldn't do it, and up on the screen there's been flashing earlier our sponsors. And we have record attendance, and we also have record sponsorship this year. We've raised over $400,000 in sponsorship, which is terrific, and it really provides the fuel to drive the TAG engine. So this is our biggest event of the year, and staff know I get a little tense during this time of year because most of our budget is either going to be made or not be made, and some of your companies do that as well at this event. So it's good to feel like we're through that, and we can do the kinds of things we're doing. A year ago, we hired Becky Biggs, our PR director, and Becky's helped to promote Georgia's technology industry with Arquetti and really a team of people. And last year, we had over 200 million media impressions about Georgia's technology. If you go to the airport, hopefully you'll see billboards that say technology where Georgia leads. If you go on one highway, we want to get more up, but you'll see a billboard saying technology where Georgia leads. And you're going to see a video a little bit later on that promotes that. Hopefully some of you have seen that already. But our top sponsors, I do want to give them a shout out. These are our platinum sponsors, and we couldn't do this event without them. Cherry Beckert and Holland, JB Consulting, Primus Software, Pyramid Consulting, and Process. So let's give them a round of applause. So we had more platinum sponsors, also gold sponsors, bronze sponsors, break sponsors. So they're all in your brochure. Please look at them. And I like to say when I come to these events, support these companies. I mean, they're supporting us. Look at those companies as you look to do business. Many of you are here today, so thank you for your support, and we appreciate that. If you want to tweet about this event today, there's a hashtag, and it's number GTS 2012. So get the word out on this. I think that's an important aspect. So with that, what we're going to do today is something a little different in terms of the Hall of Fame videos. Typically, when we had one winner, we'd show the Hall of Fame video before we kicked off the Hall of Fame, which will take place at lunchtime. But what we're going to do today, because there was so many good people that were reviewed in terms of being Hall of Famers this year, that we ended up selecting 3. It was so close. And with our partners on this, PricewaterhouseCoopers, they actually brought the event to TAG and to this venue. And so what we're going to do during the morning is show you the videos of our 3 winners this year. So the first one we're going to show is of Wayne Hodges. Many of you know him, great leader in the community, who's now the Provost Emeritus for Georgia Tech's Enterprise Innovation Institute. So with that, let's roll the first video. Thank you.
Well, it was 1970 when I came to Georgia Tech. I came to work for what was called the Industrial Development Division, which was a part of the old the Engineering Experiment Station at Georgia Tech. I've had a variety of opportunities and a variety of jobs and been able to work with a lot of different kind of people doing a lot of different kinds of things, beginning with just plain old economic development, working with companies that we were trying to locate in the state, helping to prepare communities to get ready to bring those communities in, those companies in, and to support those companies, to work with companies on technical problems that Georgia Tech could help with. Beginning with that, and then the opportunity of working with a new enterprise, the Advanced Technology Development Center, or ATDC, that was focused on creating new technology-based companies, something that universities had not done before, and lots of states, most states had not done that as well. So I had the opportunity to work with all the people across the community that are involved in that, and to see that grow and to see that be successful, and to know now that you have an organization that is recognized around the world as one of the premier technology and science incubators that has been successful and that is recognized for that success. That is terrific. When I first came to Georgia Tech back in 1970, we had fences around the campus. That has all changed, and that's obviously manifested today in Technology Square, which is a face out to the world and a new entrance to the campus. That didn't happen overnight. That happened through lots of years and lots of administrations and lots of presidents at Georgia Tech who had vision and took the opportunity to help the university grow, starting with Joe Pettit, Pat Creasine, the Olympics, what Pat Creasine did to broaden the breadth of the university, and then Wayne Clough, who made it an internationally known university during his tenure here, and moved across the expressway to build Technology Square, which has become a model for other campuses and other communities around the U.S. and internationally. And the future looks extremely bright for Georgia Tech as we go forward under this administration and Bud Peterson. There are terrific opportunities, international opportunities that Georgia Tech is exploring and is involved in now. So there's terrific opportunities for growth and expansion as we go forward. It's a great honor to me to be inducted into the High Tech Hall of Fame. I feel like I've come full circle. I was on the original committee to set the criteria, and we actually selected the first recipient, Joe Pettit. So this honor, this selection represents a great deal for me. It brings back a lot of very, very pleasant memories, and it represents the kinds of exciting times that I've had being involved with lots of different people, lots of different organizations, and being fortunate enough to be involved in the kinds of activities that we've had here in the state of Georgia.
Ladies and gentlemen, partner and co-founder of JB & Consulting, Nigel Zelser.
Good morning. I'm proud to represent JB & Consulting, a platinum sponsor at the Georgia Technology Summit. At JB, we're helping local businesses tackle their complex issues, and we're working with those leaders to go through strategic decisions, ranging from technology optimization and execution to customer interaction and human capital management. It's my honor to introduce our next speaker. Many of you are probably familiar with his coverage of the technology industry in publications including Slate, Fast Company, and the New York Times. You may also be familiar with his book, True Enough, Living in a Post-Fact Society. We are pleased to welcome Farhad Manjoo as our first speaker today. Farhad joins us from Palo Alto, where he lives with his wife and son. Last year, he penned an article for Fast Company called The Great Tech War of 2012. In the article, he explored the looming battle between tech behemoths, Apple, Amazon, Google, and Facebook, for the future of innovation. Now, I know I'm preaching to the choir when I say we live in a world where slow and steady wins the race. But today, innovation thinking outside of the box is key to company survival. So before we bring up Fahad, I do want to say he will be doing a Q&A session right after his talk. So with that, please give me a warm welcome and put your hands together for Fahad Manjoo, who will be giving us a tech writer's perspective on innovation in business and technology. Fahad.